Scott, we have a new statement from Carlos Ghosn regarding the speculation about how exactly he was able to get out of Japan and is now in Beirut. The statement from Mr. Ghosn says, there has been speculation in the media that my wife, Carol, and other members of my family played a role in my departure from Japan. All such speculation is inaccurate and false. I alone arranged for my departure. My family had no role whatsoever. Again, that statement coming from Carlos Ghosn within the last 10 minutes. So, guys, it's him saying, it's not true. Nobody helped me. I was the one who arranged for me to get out of Japan. But we still don't know the details exactly how that was put together, who helped him, all of the details. That remains very much speculation. And look, if you want a fun game, go on the internet and look for theories about how he got out of the country. I mean, they're all over the place, but very few true details that have been nailed down and proven as factual.
Phil, did you happen to hear what Bob Lutz said about Carlos Ghosn in the last half hour of our show? What do you make of that? I mean, no love lost clearly between the two, and there was some really harsh things said about Mr. Ghosn's character.
Right, not surprised. Look, Bob and Carlos Ghosn are in many ways very similar in terms of the level of self-confidence they have as executives. And that's part of what made them so attractive for people who would cover them and for people who worked with them. So I wasn't surprised to hear Bob say what he said about Carlos Ghosn. And look, there were a lot of people, not just within General Motors, but at other automakers as well, who felt that Carlos Ghosn had, this idea that he was it. He was the bomb, and he knew all when it came to the auto industry. And I think a lot of people within the big three were offended by that. They felt like, look, okay, you've done some nice things here with Nissan and Renault. Doesn't mean that you are the end-all, be-all when it comes to the auto industry. So I'm not surprised by the comments from Bob Lutz.
Just to make sure that everybody knows what we're talking about, he said, among other things, quote, that Carlos Ghosn was, quote, clearly suffering from CEO disease, that he showed all the signs of believing himself to be omnipotent and infallible. It's just interesting to hear another executive of Mr. Lutz's, caliber say that kind of thing about Carlos Ghosn at the particular time, with so many unanswered questions yet about what happens with the case against Mr. Ghosn.
That's the candor from Bob Lutz that people love. He will say stuff that maybe executives might say to you in private. And believe me, there are executives who have said that stuff about Bob Lutz, that, he has a godlike complex and he knows all in the auto industry. And I bet you Bob would be the first one to say, sure, I'm sure there are people who have said that. The difference here, Scott, is that he's not afraid to say it. And he said it to you within the last hour.
So, Phil, given the fact that we are reportedly expecting this press conference sometime next week from Ghosn, especially now with a statement like this about his family's involvement, or I should say lack of involvement in his fleeing and the way that went down, would you expect that we're going to get more details from him as he looks to clarify the record?
Nope. I don't think you get any more details from him or his rep. Here's the reason why. Because whoever helped him in getting out of Japan, they broke Japanese law. Now, you can make an argument, look, he was being held there. He didn't have representation to talk with his family. It was ridiculous, the conditions that he was under. Having said that, whoever helped him, and he probably had help from within Japan in some fashion, whoever helped him broke the law in Japan. And I can guarantee you that Carlos Ghosn is not somebody who's going to give it up. He is not going to say, well, look, it was this person, and this person, and they did X, Y, and Z. Because he understands, the serious nature of what happened.
Yeah.
Plus the person or people who helped him left with him and are no longer in Japan. Right. So we'll see.